In politics, charisma wins votes. But what if it wasn't just charisma? Senator Tom Rain, undefeated, unchallenged, and unforgettable, built his career not just on ideas, but on something deeper. A voice that couldn't be denied. A presence that couldn't be ignored. But persuasion can be a gift and a curse. And what Tom didn't know was that his greatest threat wasn't his opponents. It was his own daughter. Tom Rain stood before the podium, as he had so many times before, smiling, confident. The room quieted before he even opened his mouth. Porters leaned in. The camera flashes dimmed. He spoke, and the room nodded. It had always been this way. Since childhood, Tom noticed that people simply listened. He could talk his way out of anything. Bad grades, fights, arrests. No resistance ever lasted long. As a young man, he rose fast. From student council, to state legislature, to national office. And now, as a senior senator, he was already being whispered as the next presidential hopeful. No one could stop him. Except maybe his daughter, who grew up watching him bend the world like soft clay. Tom cut into his steak with surgical precision. Across the long table sat Annette, his wife, distant and quiet. Rowan, their daughter, now home from university, sat across from him, unreadable. "I secured an internship for you in my office," Tom told his daughter. "It'll get your foot in the right door." Rowan didn't look up. "You mean your door?" Annette's fork froze midair. Tom chuckled. "Sometimes you have to make things happen for people, even when they don't ask." Tom's smile thinned. "It's called vision." Rowan finally met his eyes. "No, it's called control." What Tom didn't know was that Rowan had inherited the very same persuasive gift, the voice, the ability to shape minds. But she wasn't using it to win elections. She was using it to destroy her father from the inside out. Rowan didn't campaign with signs or slogans. She planted ideas, influenced activists, connected with journalists, whispered things in back rooms. Anonymous stories about Tom Rain's past decisions began surfacing. Footage leaked. Rumors swelled. His speeches, once mesmerizing, began to falter. His words didn't stick like they used to. The spell was breaking. Behind it all, Rowan moved like a ghost, gathering allies and turning his own political machine against him, brick by brick. She never used her full power. Just enough to nudge. Just enough to plant doubt. Enough to undo the man who thought he couldn't be undone. Tom sat alone, staring at the news ticker. His approval ratings were falling for the first time in years. Allies stopped returning his calls. He replayed debate footage where his voice cracked. Watched people blink and yawn while he spoke. His magic, his power was slipping. He turned to Annette. "She's behind this." "Rowan." Annette barely reacted. "You always knew someone would come for your throne." "She's my daughter. She's what you made her." Tom stood frozen. The man who could command rooms was being outplayed by someone who had watched him operate all her life and learned how to sharpen the same blade. Tom barged into Rowan's place unannounced. She didn't flinch. Her apartment was minimalist, clean, focused. "You've been poisoning people against me," he said. Rowan stood calmly. "No. I've been waking them up. I made you who you are. And I used what you gave me. The difference is, I don't use it to control. I use it to correct." He stepped forward, voice rising. But she matched it with a calm, cool tone that seemed to wrap around the air itself. "You feel that?" she asked. "That shift in the room? It's your gift? But stronger." Tom stumbled back, dizzy. His head pulsed. "Are you erasing me?" he whispered. "You erased yourself the moment you stopped listening," she said. Tom Rain's portrait disappeared from the Capitol. Articles once featuring his policies were edited. His committee chairmanship was reassigned without fanfare. It wasn't scandal. It was erasure. Colleagues no longer referenced him. His name faded from the public conversation. At home, Annette walked through the halls without tension for the first time in years. Rowan, now stepping onto a new stage, stood where her father once did, but her voice didn't dominate. It moved people. She didn't shout. She whispered, and they followed. Tom Rain believed power was meant to be held tightly. But persuasion isn't just a weapon. It's a legacy. A shadow that moves forward, swallows you whole. He spent his life shaping others. And in the end, his own daughter reshaped the world without him in it. Because the scariest thing about power is when someone else learns to use it better.